Robinson Crusoe. Chapter 1. Family. My name is Robinson, and I reside in the quaint countryside of England. Today marks a significant milestone, my 18th birthday. As I reflect on my life thus far, I am reminded that my heritage is a blend of cultures. My father hails from Germany, while my mother is a proud Englishwoman. Together they have raised me alongside my two brothers and a sister. Our little family is a tight-knit unit, working together like a well-oiled machine. My father is a successful businessman, a man of notable achievements and ambition. Thanks to his hard work, we are financially secure, and I have the privilege of attending a reputable school where I feel inspired to learn. In many ways, my life is a series of comforts and joys, yet deep within, I harbor dreams of my own. I yearn for adventure, for the thrill of exploring far-off lands. My father, despite his many successes, has his own wishes for me. He desires that I flourish in life, but his dreams do not align with mine. He voices his concerns about the risks of travel, especially for someone so young. "The world is fraught with dangers, Robinson," he often reminds me, his brow furrowed with worry. Traveling can be perilous. You could find yourself in uncomfortable situations, or worse, something could happen to you. These conversations weigh heavily on my thoughts. Yes, I understand the risks involved. Travel can indeed be dangerous and intimidating. But the allure of discovering new cultures, meeting diverse people, and experiencing life beyond my home fills me with an overwhelming excitement. It occupies my thoughts daily, and perhaps, just perhaps, my mother could be the bridge to my dreams. Determined to make my case, I approach my mother later that day. "Mom," I say earnestly, "I want to travel. I dream of exploring the world and seeing all it has to offer. Could you please talk to Dad? I believe if you help me, I might be able to make it happen." She looks at me with a mixture of love and apprehension. Her heart is full of maternal instinct, yet she shares my father's concern. "Robinson," she replies softly, "I love you dearly, but traveling is fraught with risks. There's comfort in our home, in England. This is where you belong." A year passes, and my longing for adventure does not fade. Then one day I find myself in the bustling town of Hull, where the air is infused with a sense of excitement. While wandering through the busy streets, I unexpectedly run into my friend, Ben. He shares a thrilling piece of news. His father owns a ship that is setting sail for London. "Come with me, Robinson," Ben urges, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. I hesitate, caught in a whirlwind of emotions. The thought of embarking on a journey fills me with both excitement and uncertainty. Yet this might be my opportunity. If I truly want to experience the world, perhaps I should take the plunge. With my heart racing, I agree to join him on the voyage to London. As the ship departs from the harbor, an exhilarating rush envelops me. This is my first long journey, and the prospect of adventure pulses through my veins. The initial hour of sailing is breathtaking. The wind tousles my hair, and I take in the picturesque views of the coastline. However, our idyllic trip soon flares into chaos. A formidable storm brews on the horizon, swiftly darkening the sky. I can feel the vessel heaving as the winds pick up, tossing it like a toy in a child's hands. Fear grips me tightly as I think of home, the safety of my room, and the warmth of my bed. By morning, the tempest has passed, and the air is calm again. The sun peeks out from behind the clouds, casting a warm glow over everything. It feels tranquil after the chaos. I wander around the deck, and a fellow passenger approaches me. We strike up a conversation about the storm, and I share my fears with him, how I had struggled through the night. He offers me a drink, and before I realize it, I find myself enjoying multiple glasses, each one easing my tension and anxiety. Laughter and camaraderie fill the air as night falls once again, and I sink into a deep, comfortable sleep. When the morning light arrives again, something in me has shifted. I can hardly recall my home, nor can I picture my cozy bed. Instead, my dreams are now illuminated with visions of travel and adventure, sparking an insatiable desire to explore all the wonders the world has to offer. Chapter 2. Storm. The following day brought a calmer wind, allowing our ship to glide lazily through the water. We made slow progress, but soon the wind began to pick up strength once more. With renewed vigor, our vessel surged forward, cutting through the waves. Yet a foreboding sense of unease settled over us as we noticed dark clouds gathering in the distance. Another storm was brewing, and it appeared to be far more violent than the last. Fear gripped my heart, and I could see that I was not alone. The men around me exchanged anxious glances, their faces pale beneath the mounting tension. The waves rose higher and higher, twisting and churning like monstrous giants, threatening to engulf us. In the midst of this chaotic sea, other ships floundered about, reduced to mere playthings tossed against the relentless tides. My longing for home intensified, and I yearned for the safety of solid ground. The storm unleashed its fury upon us. It roared like a wild beast, and the men clutched their prayers, begging for divine assistance amidst the chaos. Suddenly, amidst the tumult, one of the sailors spotted a gaping hole in the side of our vessel. A surge of icy water flowed in, emphasizing the grim situation we faced. It was clear. We were in dire straits. As the peril escalated, many brave souls met their fate in the icy depths, succumbing to panic and despair. We scrambled to operate a pump, desperately attempting to expel the rising water that threatened to claim our ship. Fear paralyzed me as I stood frozen, overwhelmed by the chaos around me. Then a fellow sailor approached, urgency etched on his face. "Go down and assist," he commanded, with a grave tone that snapped me to attention. I stumbled forward, my heart racing as I joined the frantic effort to pump the water out. Amidst the clamor of our struggle, a gunshot erupted in the air, shattering the cacophony of the storm. It served as a signal from our captain, a stark reminder that our situation was critical. The red flag of distress was raised, and reality set in. We were facing severe damage. The ship was becoming increasingly engulfed by water around us. Each man worked tirelessly, drenched and exhausted, as we fought to stave off disaster. But the hole in our vessel was too large, and the water seeped in faster than we could expel it. Though the weather began to improve, The waves subsided, and a glimmer of hope appeared. Our ship had become a watery tomb, nearly filled to the brim with the unforgiving sea. Just then, we spotted another ship on the horizon, a potential salvation. The crew aboard the distant ship quickly dispatched a small boat towards us, its approach a beacon of hope amid our torment. The men in the small boat reached our listing vessel and quickly assessed our dire needs. With their help, we boarded their boat, hearts pounding with relief as we left our damaged ship behind. 15 tense minutes later, we watched as our once mighty vessel succumbed to the depths, disappearing beneath the waves, swallowed whole by the ocean. Safe on the small boat, we turned to face the shore, where land was finally visible on the horizon, a patch of safety amidst the chaos. Upon reaching the beach, we were greeted by a group of locals, their faces a mixture of concern and compassion. They offered us immediate aid, reaching out with warm smiles and gestures of support. With a few coins in hand, we found ourselves at a crossroads. Choose to travel to Hull or London. I opted for London, filled with ambition and the hope of new opportunities. In London, I encountered a seasoned captain, a man who regaled me with tales of his voyages to Africa. His experiences were captivating, and I felt a surge of determination. I believed I could succeed in the African markets. The captain shared invaluable insights into the business climate in Africa, advising me on what goods were in high demand. My initial venture to Africa turned out to be remarkably prosperous. The riches I amassed from that journey brought me great contentment, and I became increasingly eager to expand my business opportunities. I yearned to become an adept navigator, so I dedicated myself to learning the intricate art of ship control under the captain's guidance. When I returned to Africa for a subsequent voyage, the sea held promise. Yet, as fate would have it, I soon found myself on the brink of a far greater danger. In the distance, I spotted another ship approaching. Its flags were not those of England. It was the insignia of pirates. Their intentions were clear. They aimed to seize our vessel. Their ship was swift and sleek, gaining on us with alarming speed. The fear in my heart surged as I realized our dire predicament. The pirate crew, menacing and relentless, boarded our ship, overwhelming our defenses. The air was filled with the sounds of violence and despair as they ruthlessly slaughtered our soldiers. We fought valiantly, but our resistance crumbled under their ferocity. In moments, the chaos transformed into a grim realization. We were prisoners now, caught in the clutches of ruthless invaders. Chapter 3. Woman. I'm robust and young. I have to labor as a slave. I am employed by the pirate captain. I'm really depressed. My life is not good. I have to put in a lot of effort at work. Every day I go to work. In the house, I work. I labor in the garden. I follow the captain's instructions. I'm not fond of my work. I want things to be different for me. I long to regain my freedom. It's getting lighter. I get to know a girl. She works from home. She is really lovely. She is a slave as well. She does housework. I talk to her. She is not fluent in my language. However, I think she gets me. She smiles when she sees me. I'm robust and young. I have to labor as a slave. I am employed by the pirate captain. I'm really depressed. My life is not good. I have to put in a lot of effort at work. Every day I go to work. In the house, I work. I labor in the garden. I follow the captain's instructions. I'm not fond of my work. I want things to be different for me. I long to regain my freedom. It's getting lighter. I get to know a girl. She works from home. She is really lovely. She is a slave as well. She does housework. I talk to her. She is not fluent in my language. However, I think she gets me. She smiles when she sees me, and I'm also content. She touches me from time to time. But this is just a fleeting moment. Together, slaves are incompatible. I often find myself thinking about the young woman. Every day I wish to meet her. However, she doesn't live there every day. I feel good about my body when I think about her. I believe I'm in love with this woman. I consider myself to be her boyfriend and she to be my girlfriend. However, our love is nuanced. We are unable to coexist. It is really depressing. I go fishing with the captain and his buddies sometimes. A young boy offers assistance. When we go fishing, we use a little boat. We get lost while fishing one morning. Our boat is surrounded by fog. Nothing is visible to us. We are unable to return home. The fog lifts the following day. Now we can return home. Use a bigger boat, the captain advises us once we get back home. Longer trips are better with a larger boat. The captain says to me one day, "Add more food and beverages to the boat. Additionally, bring some firearms." With his buddies, the captain wants to go fishing. I get the boat ready. On the ship, I loaded guns and food. It is the captain's friend's desire not to go fishing. Prepare the boat for usual fishing for the next day. The captain then orders me to do. This is my opportunity. I'm able to flee. The boat is loaded with guns and food. I get the boat ready for fishing. However, I leave the weapons and food on the boat. Tomorrow is my escape. Here's what I have planned. I consider the young lady. She should come with me. I'm not sure how to do it, though. Taking her on the boat is not an option. I'm depressed. I'm at a loss for what to do. I desire freedom. My heart, though, longs to be with her. It's got to be morning. In the house, I meet the young woman. She is really lovely. I give her a look. She is aware that something has changed. Perhaps she knows that this is our last chance to spend time together. She looks directly into my eyes. She makes contact with my hand. She seems to understand, I believe. Her expression is dejected. My face is also dejected. She gives me a smile. Then she disappears. Our time together is coming to an end. Chapter 4. Lion. After an hour, we're prepared. The boy and I head to the boat. We go with one man. He is in charge of us today. We will soon be far from the land, yet we are unable to catch fish. Then we leave the land behind very far. Our manager believes that there are fish to be caught. Our boss moves to the bow of the boat at one point. I shove him toward the sea. He wishes to return by swimming. I grab a gun. He swims away as soon as he sees the gun. I turn to face the boy after he leaves. If he is with me, I want to know. He appears to be supporting me. 2 years later, I'm free. We move quickly. It's a nice wind. We are far from the pirate land the following day, but we don't give up. We go on. 6 days in, we have to stop. We require some clean water. We await the evening. We then travel to the land. Horrible noises can be heard when we get close to the land. The boy is unwilling to go on. He feels afraid. We remain on the boat close to the shore. However, we are unable to sleep. A few creatures arrive to bathe in the water. Horrible noises are made by the animals. The boy is terrified. One animal is then reported to swim toward us. The boy is ready to leave. However, I don't want to leave. I grab one firearm. I aim my gun at the creature. The creature pivots. The animal then swims to the surface. The gun is heard by the other animals. They also vanish. We continue to live on the boat. It's getting lighter. We start our day with bread. The boy has a desire to visit the beach. I accompany him. We bring firearms. We bring large water bottles. I do not venture far. Let me see the boat, please. The boy walks on by himself. After some time, the boy comes back. He bolts. It seems to me that an animal chases after him. However, I don't see anything hazardous. In his hand is an animal. The creature is a hen. He's overjoyed. I'm also content. We have fresh water and good meat. We don't see any threatening animals. Where we are, I have no idea. All I know is that we are close to Africa. I believe that we are in the vicinity of an empty land. Nobody is visible on the land. All we hear are animals. We see a lion one day when we go for fresh water. On the beach, the lion slumbers. He is enormous. We are only 20 meters away from him. The young man is terrified. The lion then widens his eyes. The lion runs to us as soon as he sees us. There's not much time left. I have to fire at the lion. I own 3 firearms. His leg is hit by the first bullet. Another bullet strikes his head. The animal is dispatched by the 3rd bullet. The meat is off limits to us. It's not good meat. However, we seize the skin. We covered the boat with the skin. Soon, the skin becomes dry. Chapter 5. Ship, we carry on with our journey. Only when we run out of fresh water do we stop. We soon discover that the land is inhabited. We see a large gathering of people one day. They're at the shore. They are parents to a large family. They observe us. I'd like to give up. I'd like to visit the people. But the boy finds this idea offensive. He feels afraid. The people are eager to feed us. A couple dashes into the woods. They come back carrying some food. We have no desire to visit the beach. However, they are unwilling to swim to us. We are unsure about how to eat the food. People are aware of this. The food was placed on the ground. They then return. We move to the food when they are far from it. We are no longer afraid of people. They approach us. We express our gratitude to everyone, but for the people, we have nothing. We spot 2 animals at that precise moment. From the hill, the animals bolt downhill. People are afraid. A young girl is attacked by one animal. I aim my gun at the creature. I dispatch the animal. The other animal is terrified. The animal flees. When they hear about the gun, the people are stunned. When they realize the animal is dead, they are even more shocked. The girl's survival has made the people happy. They express gratitude to us. They give us more water and food. We have plenty of food and water on the boat right now. We carry on with our journey. We see a few islands the following day. I believe we can go to the islands. However, the boy begins to yell at that point. He sees a ship and begins to yell. The boy is genuinely afraid. He believes it to be a pirate ship. Still, I glance at the ship. The ship is Portuguese, as I can see, but none of the ship's occupants see us. Thus, I fire from a gun. They hear the firearm. They observe us. We're on the Portuguese ship soon. They converse in French, Spanish, and Portuguese. I don't understand the men, though. On the ship, though, is one Scottish sailor. He approaches me. I tell him our story. Then every sailor is incredibly kind. On board, we are free to remain. We are overjoyed. We present the captain with our boat. However, the captain is unwilling to board the boat. He wants to cover the boat's cost. It's really lovely. I let him know he could purchase our boat. I make a good offer to him. It is half the normal cost. The captain concurs. The boy is to receive sailor training from the captain as well. This concept bothers me. The boy seems too young, in my opinion, for this position. The boy, in my opinion, also requires freedom. But according to the captain, the boy will benefit from it. Chapter 6. Wife. The young man desires a job with the captain. Consequently, the boy becomes a sailor. The vessel is en route to Brazil. After 20 days, we arrive in Brazil. I bid the boy and the sailors farewell. South America has a new state called Brazil. Here, a lot of people begin their lives. For me, it is the same. Nobody here is familiar to me. I have some new acquaintances. There are sugar plantations there. We become close friends quickly. Brazil is a country I adore. I pick up the language soon. The captain gave me some cash. I purchase a plot of land in Brazil. I begin to make sugar. At first, I don't produce much. However, my plantation has grown after 2 years. I'm not dating. However, I have a good life. Every month, things get better in terms of money. I've lived in Brazil for 3 years and have enough money. I have access to a woman who can clean my home. If my friends know of a good woman, I ask them. I have a daughter, a friend declares. Her age is 18 years. I believe she could be useful to you. She is an excellent chef as well. His daughter comes to my house the following day. She is amiable. She is bashful, though. She's a very attractive girl, too. We converse. I inform her of my needs. She visits my house the next day. She mops the soiled floor. She sanitizes my furniture. Every Monday and Thursday morning, she visits my home. She spends 4 hours at work. She makes meals for me, too. My cat gets fed by her, too. The girl always makes me happy when I see her. We occasionally chat over lunch or breakfast together. She gets sick after that. She is unable to visit my home. There's something off when she's not at my house. She is missed. Maybe I love her, I consider. She visits my home a week later. When I see her, I am content. She seems content, too. I give her a hug. I give her a kiss after that. The kiss lasts a long time. After 2 weeks, I visit her father's home. I inquire if I may wed his daughter. He keeps quiet. I watch for his response. He then responds, I agree. I'm overjoyed. I wed my friend's daughter 2 months later. We begin to make family plans. I love this phase of my life. Big things are in store for our family. Our plans for the plantation are ambitious. We require a larger home. To buy a bigger house, we need more money. I consider doing business in Africa. In Africa, I can quickly become extremely wealthy. I talk about Africa a lot with my friends. I tell my friends that Africa is a great place to make a lot of money. Chapter 7. Hurricane 3. Friends stopped by our house one day. They expressed their desire to visit Africa to me. They asked me if I would like to accompany them. "Yes, I want to go with you," I respond. We begin getting ready for the trip. We'll be prepared soon. I bid my wife farewell. Next, we proceed. We would like to return in 2 months. September is when we depart from Brazil. Our vessel is enormous. We are only 17 men, though. There is plenty on board for business. Although initially quite hot, the weather is excellent. We witness a hurricane a week later. The hurricane is incredibly powerful. There is danger to our ship. It takes 3 days for the hurricane to pass. However, we have an issue when the hurricane passes. The vessel is malfunctioning. Africa is off limits to us. The captain desires to return and fix the ship. However, I am unwilling to return. We discuss it. We consider the optimal course of action. Then another hurricane makes landfall in the evening. There is a lot of wind. The waves are enormous. One man then exclaims, "Land!" The man yells, "Land!" and the ship comes to a stop. The sea isn't sufficiently deep. It's not good for our damaged ship. The ship might explode at any moment. It takes 3 days for the hurricane to pass. However, we have an issue when the hurricane passes. The vessel is malfunctioning. Africa is off limits to us. The captain desires to return and fix the ship. However, I am unwilling to return. We discuss it. We consider the optimal course of action. Then another hurricane makes landfall in the evening. There is a lot of wind. The waves are enormous. One man then exclaims, "Land!" The man yells, "Land!" and the ship comes to a stop. The sea isn't sufficiently deep. It's not good for our damaged ship. The ship might explode at any moment. We have to board a smaller boat. The boat is too small for 17 men, so this is extremely risky. But if we want to live, we have to do it. Thus, we board a tiny boat. The waves are enormous. There's a lot of wind. Wind drives us up against large rocks. We are aware of the impending collision. Then a large wave arrives. The boat is turned by the wave. I'm afloat. My breathing is difficult. The other men are invisible to me. I can't make out the boat. That way, I'm above the water. It's just a fleeting moment. I can breathe, though. A tiny beach is visible between the rocks. I'm pushed onto the beach by a large wave. I remain submerged in water. But there's a ground beneath my feet. I'm aware that I have to get up. I have to exit the water. I can return to the sea with the next wave. However, my body is frail. I am not very tall. The subsequent wave arrives. Once more, I'm underwater. Once more, I'm out of breath. However, I'm returned to the beach by another wave. I'm submerged in water. However, I am able to stand. I have 10 meters to go. I'm in the sand. I'm secure. However, my legs and arms are really weak. I give up. I'm lying on the beach, too. After a while, I get to my feet. I search for the other guys. Where are the other men? The only surviving man is me. My pals are all deceased. On the beach, all I find are 2 shoes and 3 hats. I find it to be awful. Chapter 8. Island. The awful weather persists. The waves are not as large, though. The ship is visible to me. The ship is not close to the ground. I scan my surroundings. I realize I am without anything. I'm drenched. I don't own any other clothes. I have nothing to consume. I don't own a gun. I can be eaten by dangerous animals. I only have a little knife, which I discover in my pocket. This is a terrible situation. How am I going to live with just a little knife? I must have some fresh water to drink. I locate a tiny river. I sip the water. Night falls. All dangerous animals terrify me. I'm not able to sleep on the ground. Thus I sleep in a large tree. The sea is calm when I wake up the following morning. I can still make out the ship. I reach the ship by swimming. I can't see how to get inside the large ship. Twice I swim around the ship. Then I notice that the ship has a rope on one side. I make use of the cord. I'm on the ship right now. There is nothing on the ship. I look for some food. I'm fortunate. There is some dry food on the ship. Plus, I discover a bottle of rum. I carry the bottle along. Then I hear something. On board the ship is a person. Who is that? Someone from my social circle? It isn't achievable. All of my friends have passed away. I'm afraid. I head over to where the sounds are coming from, and I recognize who it is. It's a canine. It's our captain's dog. I have a friend now. I'm not by myself. I have to take the dog, the food, and the rum to the beach. However, my small boat is not on the ship. I have to build a raft. I locate some wood. I use the wood to make a raft. I also require some clothing. I search for the clothing. I find a lovely carpet when I search for the clothes. I also discover a box containing gunpowder and 4 guns. Everything went onto my raft. The ocean is serene. The land is where the wind goes. Everything is well here. I'll be at the beach soon. I search for a place to remain. There's a hill I see. I can see where I am from the hill. I grab a gun. I stroll over to the hill. I ascend to the summit. I can see the sea all around me. I'm situated on an island. I see 2 tiny islands in the vicinity. One faces the north. One faces west. There's a large area of land to the south, too. It's roughly 100 kilometers to the land. To the east, I can see nothing. All I see is the ocean. Nobody is visible to me on the island. All I see are untamed creatures. Chapter 9. Tent. While returning from the hill, I spot a lot of birds. I am unaware of their names, though. I'm not sure if I can consume them. I successfully kill 1 bird. The meat isn't good, though. My return is to the raft. I want to return to the ship on the following day. I want to bring everything that matters to the island. The ship could be totally destroyed in the next storm. I set up a little tent next to the shore. I carry inside the tent the items that are susceptible to rain damage. Night falls. I'm lying down. I position 2 guns close to my left shoulder. I place 2 more guns close to my right shoulder. I feel secure now. I'm worn out. I fall asleep quickly. The following day, I swim back to the ship. I construct another raft. I loaded up the raft with stuff. When I discover some beds and 7 new guns, I am overjoyed. I bring everything here to the beach. Every day I visit the ship. I return with a lot of positive things. I find a lot of candles, for instance. On the island, I need candles. I also discover 2 large tea boxes. I visit the ship a great deal. One day, I come across a closed box. I see a key under the box. Upon opening the box, I find some cash from Brazil and Europe. On the island, money is not significant. However, I take the cash with me. I also come across picture cards. These are images of the Queen and the King. I'm able to engage in some gaming. I can use the cards to my amusement. Big, dark clouds are in the sky the following day. They continue to grow in size. The wind continues to pick up strength. I go over to the ship. That said, a storm is approaching, so I don't build a raft. In a storm, rafts are easily broken, returning to the beach by swim. At night, the wind is particularly strong. However, inside my tiny tent, I am secure. The ship is gone the next morning. I know that I can stay on the island very long. I want to make a nice place where I can live. I also need to be safe. I can look for a cave, or I can make a larger tent. Perhaps I could do both. I require a location close to fresh water. There needs to be shadows there. The location must be simple to safeguard. A view of the sea is also necessary. I'm interested in seeing ships. I locate a pleasant area close to a large hill. That's where I set up my tent. One side of the hill shields me. I construct a fence around every other edge. There is no door on the fence. I cross the fence using a ladder. I bring everything I own inside. I am thinking of more plans. I construct 2 tents. A single tent is large. The second tent is not very big. The larger tent contains the smaller one. The larger tent keeps rain out of the gunpowder and food. In the smaller tent, I reside. Stay connected with us for upcoming content.